once I realized that I needed to surrender all of that to God and just really ask, like, what do you want me to do? I think first is just imposter syndrome, right? I just consumed as much information as I could.
I want to know, who are you? What do you do? And where can we find you on socials and in person?
Okay, so my name is Jenaé Harrington. I am the CEO of SummerLeaf Cleaning Solutions. So we are a family-owned commercial cleaning company. And so we are on LinkedIn right now, SummerLeaf Cleaning, and then also as a way to share more of our story, I have personal social media that I post more about business and just my journey. And I am Oh Hey Jenaé on YouTube and TikTok.
Okay, nice. So what inspired you to start SilverLeaf Cleaning Solutions and why commercial cleaning specifically?
So I have an older brother, and he worked in the commercial cleaning industry for like 7 years, and I actually have no experience in the commercial cleaning space at all. I actually worked in higher education for over a decade, and so my plan was to be a dean of students. That was my career goal. And just over time, life happened. I transitioned into another industry, which was consulting. And then over time, I know that I heard from God, like, you need to start this business with your brother. You have business experience, and he has the commercial cleaning experience. So y'all need to come together and create this business. And so Summerleaf Cleaning, so Summerleaf Drive was the street that we lived on when we were growing up. And it's kind of a sad story because our parents got divorced when we lived in that on that street. And so our lives like completely changed, as divorce does to a lot of families. And so we decided to name it Summerleaf Cleaning Solutions because we wanted to create something beautiful out of an ugly situation that happened to us. And it has already been something beautiful. So that's how we started.
That is blessed. When did it finally click that this was a real business and not just an idea?
I think as soon as I brought the idea to my brother, and he said, let's do it, I knew that we were going to move forward, and it was an actual business, and we didn't take long to, get the LLC and to get the logo and to get things started. Like, we literally hit the ground running, and it didn't take us long to get our first contract. And so that's when I knew this is a business. This is something that we're going to move forward with. So really, as soon as we had the idea and my brother confirmed it, we moved forward.
I love when it gets rolling like that. It's like, idea, go.
Yep.
Don't wait on nothing. I love that. What mindset did you adopt, and what mindset did you have to let go of to become a business owner?
Yes. So I would say for a long time, I had in my mind what I wanted to do. I had this trajectory for my life. I had, get these degrees and get these certifications and have these skills because I had a plan for my life. And once I realized that I needed to surrender all of that to God and just really ask, like, what do you want me to do? Like, what purpose do you have for me? Um, that was the shift. And so I would have never in a million years thought that I would be the owner of a company and commercial cleaning at that. So I think once I realized that I'm not in control, and the only way that I will really have a fulfilling life is to follow the purpose that God set for me. That's how I finally settled in, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Because it was not in the plans. I never even thought that I would be a full-time business owner. Like that just was not a thing. So
Wow.
yeah.
So like how did you find that cleaning was your calling?
Mm-hmm.
Like even though you have done so many other things in a different realm of business,
Mm-hmm.
like how did you settle on that?
So I really think it was because of my brother
Okay.
and because, my family is so important to me. Like I just
Mm,
love them so much. And so I knew that he had the skill set, and I knew that if we could come together, that we could create something great. So it really wasn't, if it was his skill set and my skill set, that's the only way that we came up. Well, I came to the conclusion that we should start a commercial cleaning business.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So family was the calling.
right, for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What fears did you battle early on, and how did you push through them?
Ooh, so many. I think first is just imposter syndrome, right? So, like, owning a business full time feels very scary because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's insecurity in terms of like finances. If think you are the business owner, so if you don't get the business, then you don't get paid. And so I think, having relied on a job for so long, I think that
Hmm.
was the initial fear. Like, how am I going to survive? I
Yeah.
think that was the initial fear. And then also with imposter syndrome, just owning a business that just feels owning a business full time. So I had a photography business before, but it was kind of like a side hustle. So it was like more comfortable. It was just kind of supplemental. But when you say you are going to own a business and this is going to be what you do, and then eventually you want to employ other people, and there are other people's livelihoods at stake, and that's all resting on you. That just felt like a big task.
Hmm.
And so there was a lot of fear about that, and just the fear of the unknown. And I think just having the support of my family, and first of all, when I told my brother, he was on board with it. When I told my mom, I told my stepdad, I told my dad, and they were all so excited about the idea. That just was confirmation that this is something that we should be doing. And then I also just trust God. I know that, I don't I don't know what the full picture looks like. I'm just following step by step in terms of what he tells me to do. So I think the trust in God really is helping me to cast the care and the fear on him and not worry about it. Not saying that I don't have days that I'm like, what are we doing here?
Hmm.
They do come, but I think because that foundation is there, that I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That helped me to overcome the fear for sure.
Okay. Um, did you have a moment where you wanted to quit, or what made you stay in the game?
I think I want to quit often, and just get a job. I ain't
Really?
gonna lie, like it just feels easier that way because that's where my security came from for so long. But I think, again, going back to the whole original reason why we wanted to start the business, thinking about my family, thinking about my daughter, and the freedom that a successful business will allow not only me, but her as well, and also the rest of my family. That helps me to get over it. But I think just knowing that you can just get a job and get a regular paycheck, and other people will just tell you what to do, and you just get paid. It just
Hmm.
feels like a simple way out, but I know
Hmm.
that that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
me personally, it's so hard to submit to saying, okay, I'm gonna do what somebody else
Yeah.
has for me today. I'm like, I cannot do it. So how did you learn the commercial cleaning industry? How has your brother coached you or mentored you, or what did you learn through trial and error?
Yeah, so thankfully we're in the information age, and so there is just a ton of information online, and that's just a ton of free resources. And so I am a researcher. That's just who I am. And so I watched YouTube videos. I Googled, like I just wanted to learn as much as I could about commercial cleaning in and of itself, but then also the business side. So, I just consumed as much information as I could, and I'm still doing that. Going to networking events, going to, I have a coach through the SBDC, so asking her questions. I have, going to workshops, and I'm just I have just been consuming as much information as I could to just make sure that we have the knowledge and we're just not going out here blind. Something else I have also had to do, which is, you know, uh, something that I'm not used to, is you just have to ask people for help. So I do know someone who I grew up with, who has a commercial cleaning business, and she's super successful. And so I just asked her, even though, it was kind of weird, because I'm like, that's my friend. I don't want to like mix those things. But I was just like, if you don't ask her, then you would never know. And so she just gave me some free game. And so I, use what she told me as well. So it's just so many free resources out there, and you literally don't have to pay a dime. You just have to find it. And that's what I did initially to, get information. And then my brother also, because he knows about the cleaning, he's the primary cleaner. And so he's cleaned every type of building that you can think of. And so he just already had the knowledge. And so he knew what supplies to get, and we just move forward.
Okay. You mentioned having a coach. What company did you find your coach at?
So it's the Small Business Development Center.
Oh.
So you can sign up for a free business coach. You go to their website and you fill out like a short questionnaire, and they match you with someone. And I think you have maybe 5 or 6 sessions for free. And you basically, they will walk you, if you have done 0 steps, they'll walk you from there. If you've at step 3 or 4, they'll walk you through there. But she basically gave me marketing resources, funding resources, helped me to get the SEO right on my website. Like literally, you can ask them whatever questions that you have, and they have the knowledge to support you, and it's free. It's SBDC is a federal government agency, I guess you would call it, and they offer free services, and they also have free workshops via Zoom that you can attend.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
You need to know that.
Yes.
I've been thinking about a business coach for a while, because I'm like, I need help. And then the fact that it's free.
It's free.
And for our audience, this is in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they have them all over. So no matter where you live, but of course they have local offices based on where you live. But yeah, it's free.
That's awesome. I did go online and I did see your website. Very professional.
Thank you.
Did you do that yourself?
I did.
What? Okay, you got skills. I need you to teach me something.
Yeah. So I use Wix, and so I am a little creative.
Mm-hmm.
So they have templates, and so you can just customize it, to your liking. And so I created the website for us instead
Okay.
of paying somebody to do it.
It looks great.
Thank
And
you.
what is your website called so we can find you?
Yeah, it's SummerLeafCleaning.com.
What role does ChatGPT play in your business?
Oh, so many.
Okay.
So before opening a cleaning company, I was a consultant. And
Mhm.
so we did like data analysis and stuff like that's how I learned about AI and
Okay.
prompt engineering and all that stuff. And so I'm so glad. That's why I know that everything that happens to us, every job, every situation, experience, it all fits together somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I, started entrepreneurship, I'm like, I'm definitely going to use ChatGPT. So, and knowing how to properly use prompts to get it to do what you want it to do. So, um, the content, like the copy on the website, I use ChatGPT for that. I use ChatGPT to search for businesses in the area that I could email or call or cold call. I use it for ideas for like flyers. One of the things that we're going to do early next year is create some mailers, like direct mailers. And ChatGPT helped to create some of the wording because when somebody gets something in the mail, you really have to grab their attention and make sure that they look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it will basically tell you how to format whatever document. I use it for proposals. So, you can use it to edit. So once you type everything out, you can get it to edit the sections for you so that it sounds like more professional or, whatever tone that you're trying to use. You just have to tell it who it is. So, say for instance, you want to create some posts for social media, and you just say, um, you are an experienced SEO expert and content creator. Then you tell it what you want it to do, so that it'll know exactly how to frame, whatever it's spitting out to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you say you had ChatGPT help you with formulating some emails and maybe a script for cold calls. How is it getting responses back from emails and responses during cold calls? What is that like?
So haven't tried cold calls yet. The emails and visiting, I think. So for me, I think that I would make a better impression in person. And so, because when people call me and I know that it's just a part of sales, I don't always want to talk, or it's not. They don't grab me as if I see somebody in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think visiting people is a better way, at least for me. Obviously, with cold calling, you can do more volume, and it's free. You just have to have a phone. But I think visiting people, email is good as well. If you have a catchy subject line to get people to actually open it. That's the thing. We get so much spam these days. People just don't even
Yes.
pay attention to their emails. But email is a good way because, you can send out 1,000 emails. And, you know, if you get, I don't know, 20 people back and 20 responses turned into a contract, that is a great return, in my opinion, because
Mm-hmm.
emailing is free.
Yes, it is.
So I think emailing could work if, the if you can get them to open the email, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, approaching in person, what would be your like ideal approach? Like, what were you going to say?
So first of all, you have to make sure like if you're walking into an establishment, you want to make sure you're talking to the decision maker. So you really have to ask for the person which, because if you're talking to someone who can't do anything from with the information or doesn't make the decisions, that doesn't really help you. Even if they pass the information along, they may pass it along incorrectly.
Right.
So I think the most important thing is to ask for that person initially to make sure you are speaking to the right person. And something that I learned in a workshop that I went to was to not speak to, don't just rattle off all of your services initially. You start asking questions to see what their pain points are. So, for instance, a lot of businesses, they use their employees to clean their spaces, which is not always the best idea because I got hired for this role. Why am I cleaning the bathroom? And so that's a question that you can start off asking, like, is your or who's responsible for cleaning your space? And if they say your our employees do it, that's a way to start a conversation. Like, well, how does that work? Do you feel like you're getting the best quality clean when you're with your employees? And that could be a way to kind of sell them to, let me give you a quote, to see what we can do for you, and that can free up your employee to do something else. It may heighten their morale because they don't have to clean anymore because that's not what they were hired to do. So basically, get them talking about the things that are bothering them, and then you say, well, I have this that may be able to help you, instead of just rattling off what you have and they may not even need it.
Okay, thank you. How do you secure your very first client, and what did that process teach you?
So something that I learned, if you are, and it probably will work for any type of service type industry, if you're new to an industry and you need to make a name for yourself, you don't have a lot of reviews, there are other established companies in your industry that may subcontract to you. They have a bigger name, they have more experience, and so they are more likely to have existing contracts, or they can get contracts easier. And so they use subcontractors because it helps them out as well. And so basically, they subcontract the work out. So that was the first contract that we were able to secure.
Congratulations.
Thank you, which was totally a blessing. And you just have to ask, and you have to put yourself out there. As long as you have to have the LLC, you have to have a W-9, you have to have insurance. Once all those things are crossed off, then you can work with another company, and that's also creating a partnership. That's creating, they may have more work for us down the line. If we get a contract that we can't handle on our own, we can partner with them because they're established, they have employees. So it's like a win-win situation. But if I wouldn't have asked my friend about how do you get contracts, I would have never known that. I wouldn't have just thought, you just get contracts on your own. But there are companies that are willing to sub out to smaller companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's some very valuable advice.
Yeah. I'm so glad she shared that with me because I would have never known.
Can you walk us through what happens from the moment a potential client reaches out to the moment a contract is signed?
Yeah. So when you request a quote either on our website or you give us a call, we basically just kind of ask basic questions about like what type of business it is, what like the business size, like what type of services you provide, what the traffic looks like, and if the idea is to get you to allow us to give you a quote. So we want to come to your space, walk around, kind of look at everything, like what you have going on, and also look at what you have, if you have a current cleaning service, how frequently that happens, But we do the walkthrough. We talk about, high traffic areas, high touch areas, things like that. And then we provide a quote pretty quickly. So we use this system called Process the Payment, and it has an app that, we can do a walkthrough. I can go in the car and type up a quote on my phone and send it right out.
Okay.
Just so, we can keep the process moving. And, once the quote is accepted, we provide them with a contract that has all the terms. They sign the contract and we start cleaning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick, easy. How do you price commercial cleaning jobs, and what do new entrepreneurs often get wrong about pricing?
So that's something that's still new to us. And that's why the walkthrough is so important. But you can either, it's a combination between square footage. So you're looking at how big is the space, and then also how long it will take to clean it. So if it's a type of business that has a lot of dust, a lot of traffic, if there are a lot of kids there, um, things like that. You just have to um, look at the whole scenario in terms of like how long it would actually take to clean, and you kind of factor in all of those things before you give a price. Because you could have a huge space with low traffic, and so it wouldn't take that long to clean, versus a smaller place with people in and out all day, touching everything that you really need to clean and disinfect. And so you have to take into account all of that.
Okay. What systems or software keeps your business organized, like scheduling, invoicing, communication?
Yeah, so I mentioned Process the Payment, and I randomly, doing research on YouTube, I saw a bunch of service industries, so plumbers, painters, um, commercial cleaners, they use project to payment. And so basically, you can send invoices, you can send quotes, and it basically keeps up with all your transactions. It transfers, the money into your bank account, and it's pretty low cost, based on what it does. And so we use that, of course, and then because we only have one cleaner for now, we there's not a lot of scheduling, but in email, so you really don't need a lot. And project to payment is really extra, so you really don't have to have it. So you can start a commercial cleaning business. You really just need cleaning supplies, and you need a way to send an invoice, which you can do on Microsoft Word if you have it, or any type of word processing tool, and a bank account to put it in. So you really don't need a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's one lesson entrepreneurship has taught you about yourself?
Hmm. So I have learned that um, I am someone who, like, I consume a lot of information, um, but I have to be more strategic about what to do with it. So, what good is going to networking events, going to workshops, getting all this information, and you don't know what to do with it? So, I've learned that I have to be more organized with, once I get the information, how am I processing it, writing it down, putting it in a way that I can actually utilize it. Because, I could just consume all day and then just kind of get stuck and not know where to go with it. I've also learned that I need to do a better job of networking and um, sharing what we do, and sharing the benefits of what we do, sharing our story, which I think is really important to just the overall success of our business, because we are family owned. we say that we pride ourselves on being a commercial cleaning company, but we provide a personal touch. And so those are all things that I need to get part of my regular speech. So yeah, those are some things that I'm actively working on. Um, yeah, I would say getting out more, networking more, um, and being more organized.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one mistake new cleaning business owners should avoid at all costs?
I would say taking on cleaning jobs that you're not ready for. Um, just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should. Starting out, and not saying that you have to start small, but it's a learning process. And so you don't want to get a contract and lose it if you're not prepared, if you don't have the resources to carry it out and do it in a way that you're successful. So I would say just make sure to understand where you are and what you can handle, and then move forward with contacting clients. And obviously, if you get a huge contract that you may not be able to handle, you may just have to pray about it and it may work out. But just something to think about. Like, you don't want to stretch yourself too thin or reach too high and end up, disappointing a client or losing a contract.
Or what would you tell someone who feels called to start a business but doesn't know where to begin?
I would say to take one step at a time. Sometimes I think entrepreneurship, business ownership just feels very heavy and daunting. Like, how on earth would I possibly do this? But I think write your ideas down. I think that's key, because sometimes you just have to get things out of your head on paper. And once you get everything out, I think it provides you a way to just kind of reflect on what you have and figure out a plan. Like, what do I need to do step by step? Like, when you look at business ownership just as a whole, it just seems like a lot. But if you break it down into small pieces, and I think that's where coaching really helps, because they help you to kind of look at each step that you need to check off before you get to the next. Um, I think that's really important. Just take one step at a time. Ask questions. Not Don't be afraid to ask questions. Um, Ask for help when you need it. If you don't understand something, don't, yes, it's good to research on your own, but don't spend 8 hours researching something when you can just ask somebody and just save yourself that time. Um, and then also, just, yeah, you have to utilize your resources. It's just so much free stuff out here that you can use. That you can, like, put into practice immediately. Like, you don't have to do it next month, next week. Like, you can do it now. So yeah, I would say, and just do it. Like, just start. Like, just do something to move forward. Because once you do that, it just gives you a little. You feel good. You feel empowered, and then you can take the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. But if you just sit and just think about an idea that you have forever, how would we ever be here? How would we ever have a cleaning business? How would we ever do anything if we just keep it in our head? So just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jenaé.
Thank you for having me. How would we ever do anything if we just do it?